Welcome to Dare, the show for innovators, entrepreneurs, and startup leaders who dare to shape the future. Your hosts today are Ned Hayes and Cecilia Mariani. Dare is brought to you by Darwaf, the superpower tech team that can make your vision a reality. The Dare podcast is happy to welcome Ben Gherezgiher to the show today. For over 30 years, Ben has been a leader in public safety and security. In Oklahoma, he led 14 public safety agencies under the state CIO. And then in Oregon, he served as assistant state CIO. And in 2022, assumed the position of Chief Information Security Officer and Director of State Cybersecurity Services. Ben works closely with law enforcement and public policy groups to ensure the safety of the state government and the citizens of the state of Oregon. So welcome, Ben.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, Ben. So to kick things off, could you tell us what the role of Chief Information Security Officer is? What do you do for the state of Oregon?
Oregon, thank you. It's a good question. The State Chief Information Security Officer, or in short, State CISO, oversees cybersecurity services that protect state information assets and networks against cyber adversaries, internal or external. Furthermore, directs and manages cybersecurity service professionals and associated budgets. For example, the state cybersecurity organization is divided into 4 service verticals. To give you a good intro. So we've got a team that actually does cybersecurity architecture services, a team that does network security operations, a team that does security risk governance, and then the Security Operations Center or the state SOC. All these are under the cybersecurity services the state provides to the state government.
Got it. So one big question I have coming from the tech sector is, how does government really work effectively? I'm asking this because some people at tech feel like they want to replace aspects of the government, but perhaps you can explain the role of government and how it makes us safer online and makes things safer generally.
Well, Ned, I think that this is a very broad question. However, I will kind of give you a response from the perspective of cybersecurity, because that's a government service as well. So I think you would see there is an extensive collaboration between state and federal partners and other cybersecurity practitioners in the war against cyber criminals. So the core services that we do in government is, as you know, government is entrusted with citizens' data to make sure it's secure, and also government services are available without any impact from cyber criminals or anything like that. So if you look at it, this service actually is provided through a number of ways. One of them is there is a timely sharing of cyber threat intelligence, assistance in cyber range exercises, cyber incident forensics, cyber policies and standards that are in use to proactively fight cyber adversaries. And of course, as you know, most of cyber adversaries are now foreign, government sponsored. So there is a big challenge that government has to really be organized to protect data and make sure services are available to citizens and residents. That kind of gives you an idea from a cyber perspective, but every service vertical of government operates to make sure data is safe and services are available equitably to every resident in the state of Oregon or even federal.
Well, that sounds like very important work. What kind of economic impact does that have just here in the state of Oregon?
Very good. I think when we talk about economic impact, let me give you an answer that has to do with cyber. Since this is all about cyber, cyber attacks, if successful, have significant economic and security impacts. For example, in 2023, we had several ransomware attacks here in Oregon that impacted local city and county governments. Statistically speaking, the average ransom request has been $1.54 million, almost double that what we've seen in 2022. Again, this is a report provided by Sophos for 2023 that indicates that's the average, but doesn't mean that's the minimum. We've seen, for example, in the business sector or in the casinos, challenges a lot more than that being requested. So when you have a significant, cyber incident, it can go in millions in terms of economic impact and service impact.
Right. So I read that ransomware worldwide last year was expected to cost up to or exceed $30 billion. even though the average ransomware attacker is only requesting a few million, that really adds up. So are the bad guys winning? Are you pulling ahead? How do you compete with that?
Very good. I think, you're absolutely right. If you look at it globally, and different kinds of attacks request different types. Sometimes you don't even get anything recovered after you pay. These are criminals. There is no good handshake or contract with them. Sometimes you could really make their payment and then you get 60% of your data and then that's it. There's nothing much you can do to them. But to take you back to the real question is that, so a serious cyber incident can cost like millions of dollars. In most government sectors, we are fighting a good fight and have prevented millions of attempts by the bad actors. On 24-hour basis, we see a number of attacks that come internally, externally, and from way different side of the world that we drop and protect our assets. So there's no success in that. Occasionally they're successful when there is vulnerability or zero-day attack that actually makes it into our systems. But I would not say by far they're winning. They are not winning. And the attacks are getting more complex by far. And then, of course, we're seeing organized cybercrime syndicates that are posing serious threats. So in that capacity, we're also beefing up our protection capacity and detection with our federal partners to make sure those guys don't be successful.
Well, I'm really glad that the good guys are winning. I mean, that's the message we want to hear. Even though you're somewhat understaffed compared to national actors who are attacking our systems, that's great to hear.
Yeah, and now that we've had a number of new developments in AI and machine learning technologies over the past year, what impact has AI had on cybersecurity? Are you using right now AI?
Yes, that I guess no cybersecurity interview would be complete without a question about AI or generative AI. So it's a good question. Definitely, there is a lot of positive new developments in generative AI, especially the integration of natural language engines into generative AI. So again, using AI is not new to specialized services in government. And I can give you an example in law enforcement. We've had AI-driven facial recognition technologies, fingerprint-based identification systems, ballistics that use AI to overcome, the sheer volume of data that we have to analyze and come back with, close to positive results. So AI has been in use. However, generative AI, including the natural language engine, changes this almost 180 degrees. So sitting down and talking to a smart machine and getting the results you need without even hitting a keystroke is a big difference. So in cybersecurity, we are very excited that we have AI capabilities to really, look at the network flow, different type of threat indicators to analyze them without a lot of work using AI and be able to block, malicious attempts. We are very excited about that. We're also concerned that as much as we can use AI, the bad actors are also working hard to make sure they have AI-based attacks that they can multiplex their attempts fairly easily from different sides of the world. And so that is a challenge. So what we say to our agencies or anyone who uses in the public sector is that we have to balance security and functionality. We have to have a guided use of AI so we don't become victims pretty easily.
Well, thanks for that insight. I'm curious about other technologies that your office protects as well. What about things like AR, VR, and other new technologies? Does your office use other new technologies we haven't talked about?
Yes, I think it's all about how you use it. Generally, AI is going to be a good tool if it's used very responsibly. So I can tell you, I like any technology. It needs to be managed and used with low risk. So yes, we do use AI and plan to use it further against our cyber adversaries in the state of Oregon.
Got it. So when we talk about like virtual reality and things like Roblox and other, like Meta has a whole like world that they're planning online. Do you actually extend your work into kind of the virtual space? Do you have agents or people out there actually monitoring virtual reality?
Not very much in that capacity, but we use simulations and virtual reality type products like doing cyber rings, for example, when you do exercises about cyber attacks. We can use products like that to simulate an actual attack over our network and be able to do red team, blue team type exercises. As for outside of that, we do monitoring when traffic actually comes to us and proactively track it to make sure it's valid or not valid. But specifically looking at virtual reality systems, that's not something that we're doing right now, but we use it to our advantage.
Yeah, and now it's like a mix between virtual reality and people talking like real people, and virtual reality and AI together in order also to misuse maybe some information or to mention some incorrect information. Yeah. So even if you aren't in the virtual world, you are in continuing to chase down those who are trying to steal and misuse information. What's next for your red teams and blue teams?
Again, I think, when you say what's next, the
Yeah.
frontier of cybersecurity now is going to be AI empowered.
Mhm.
So definitely we need to stay on the edge to understand the changes and the developments of AI and generative AI. So staying vigilant about it and very procedural how we deal with it, something that we're looking very closely from our policies all the way down to our protective measures. But it's a welcome change. As you know, the digital world is going to expand like crazy. AI is almost like recreating the internet. It's a lot of things that are going to change. So step by step in government, we want to make sure we take advantage of it for positive use and then prevent from the negative use, whether it's internal or external. So there's a lot more planning and learning, exercising that's going on to make sure that we take advantage of what's available as an opportunity and then make sure that we can defend against it as well.
Got it. Well, so we've looked kind of ahead to the future of AI, virtual reality. Maybe we could do the kind of Christmas Carol thing of looking back at the past. So if you look at this past year, back in 2023, because this is going to be broadcast the first week of 2024, what was your team's signature accomplishments last year? What did you guys do?
I think, we did a lot of things, but I can tell you that I'm very proud of of my cyber teams and our federal partners in really combined formidable cyber defense that we put forth to protect, analyze, and support rural governments, special districts in Oregon, or county governments that are really underprivileged in terms of having the resources to defend against cyber. So the cyber awareness campaign that we did, and also the collaborative effort to provide SOC services to those who cannot do this, is something I'm very proud of, to make sure that we really are supporting each other. So we're not giving any kind of edge to those cyber criminals who really go to the weakest link and try to infiltrate government.
Yeah. Well, your central mandate is information security. So as we enter this new year of 2024, do you have any suggestions for people in Oregon on how to keep your information safe? Maybe your top 3 recommendations?
Definitely, I can do that. I think, when a state CISO says top 3, that doesn't mean we're leaving the others too. I just want to make sure I qualify my answer. And then, yes, the mandate is security. It is actually cybersecurity. So I can give you this recommendations to keep private information safe. The first one I would give is that practice proper cyber hygiene. Take security awareness classes. Be on the know side. Be aware. That's the first one, is awareness. The second one is back up your personal data and protect it. Make sure your personal data is backed up, because it's not only that it will happen, it's just when somebody would be, attacked or even be compromised. So the best thing to do is to have your backup and make sure it's protected. The third one is check your PII and financial data frequently and ensure that there is no activity you don't recognize. So checking is the third thing that we need to do as a good practice. And then to that, I add alert appropriate authorities if there is a suspicion of a fraud. What I mean by that is know who you normally would contact. I'm not talking about the police here. I'm talking about your financial institution fraud team. So that if you know who to contact and quickly contact them, they can also save others, not you only. So those are the top three I would put, in addition to the, a longer list of what we should do as a digital world. And we're really pretty much combine it into our digital world more than what we think. But these top three are really good things to do, regardless whether you're a young kid or a serious adult.
Right. So I know people do things every day, make their information less secure. What should people stop doing?
So most people are on their phones or tablets these days. So that's what we do every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think make sure these devices are secure with biometrics or a long PIN.
Mm-hmm.
Don't use birthdays and things like that for passwords and compromise yourself. So use either biometrics or long pins on the device that you really use all the time. And then minimize unknown free apps from being loaded. Those are actually the vehicles hackers use to get to our PII data. The third one I would say is patch your laptops, PCs, and be on the latest OS on all your devices, and back up your data to the cloud. A lot of people think backing up data to the cloud is expensive. I think it's not expensive for personal use. Actually, it's pretty cheap. And it does save you from a whole bunch of hurt if you've got serious documents that you want and they're compromised, you can't reach them. So I kind of leave you with that.
Good recommendations. Thank you so much. So be aware, people. Be aware of what you're doing on your devices, and secure it with biometrics or longer pins, not that 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Exactly.
Thanks for sharing those recommendations, Ben. So I'm curious about your background. You serve as Chief Information Security Officer here in Oregon and in Oklahoma. It's a big shift from Oklahoma to out here in rainy Oregon. You've been here about 5 years now. What do you think of Oregon so far?
I've been to all states in the U.S. except the state of New Hampshire and Alaska. And Oregon, I think, is gifted and beautiful. Both the coast and central Oregon are very green. Oh, the waterfalls are amazing. So I'm very excited. And so far, I've fallen in love with Oregon.
That's great to hear.
Nice.
Glad to have
Me
you
too.
here.
I want to go back there.
I know.
Okay, so final important question. Our podcast is about people who dare to dream. What do you dare to dream, Ben? What future do you dare to imagine you are creating?
Wow. Interesting. So you're asking about a dream. So I'll give you one. So I dream about diversity and equity for all people on all opportunities. I think extreme development of AI will create a digital world that may get us there. You ask for a dream, there you go.
Great. Well, thank you so much. It's been really inspiring to hear a little bit of your journey and to hear your recommendations for the coming year. And I guess this is our first broadcast of the new year. So do you have any New Year greetings to our audience?
Well, thank you for having me here. You've got great, interesting topics. Hopefully I've met the expectations, but thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2020.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good one, Ben. Take care.
You too. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks to our guests today for their great insights on DARE, the podcast for innovators, entrepreneurs, and startup leaders. If you'd like your story to be featured on DARE, just contact us at info@darwaft.com. DARE is brought to you by Darwaft, the tech team that can make your vision a reality.